devotees, we welcome you to this once again amazing and wonderful Mārgasirsha Mangalārati session. And we are entering into the fifth stage and it is getting completed. We will be moving into sixth stage of Tiruppāvai tomorrow. Before that, Om Jnanatimmirandasya Jnananjanashalakya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakadamayam Dadadi Sapadandikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Udapadagamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagarjatam Sagagana Raghunathanvitam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sagitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagagana Lalita Shri Vishaka Anviram Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namasute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rushabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhye Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna. As we enter into the last verse of the fifth stage, this is 25th. If you look at this 21 to 24, waking up the Lord and looking at the Lord for his wonderful walk, and after the stylish walk of the Lord, they are glorifying the Lord with all the Leelas connected. So today's verse is full of philosophical things, and especially the first few lines and the last two lines are very important. Orutti Mahanai Pirandu Orutti Mahanai, Oriravil Orutti Mahanai Valardu. So as we see that, that is the most important philosophical thing. Then at the end, Varuttamam Mahildu. These two phrases are very important. So as we relish it before, let us try to glorify Āndāl Nachiyar with this history. She appeared in the 8th century in the Divya Desam of Shivaliputtur. Her father Vishnu Chitta, Āndāl Nachiyar. Always she used to wear a garland made for the Lord Vatapata Sai in the local temple. One day Father Periyar watched it and he made another garland to the temple, but the Lord said, I want the same one. So this way Āndāl Nachiyar had such a deep love for Krishna, and she was very keen to get married to the Lord. And while she was just 5, as a Kumarika, she started spreading the message. And how important it is she is leading the entire 5 lakh Gopikas or Kumarikas. And what are the things she says, that's very important. Because when you are a leader, you must be able to capably do it. Even in the Bhagavatam also, there is a verse which says, Guru Urna Sasyad. Like that, she is guiding them rightly. So in today's verse also, she does the same thing. They observe a Pāvai Nonbu. The Pāvai Nonbu is almost getting over. And their complete intention or the goal is to get Krishna as their husband. That is the ultimate goal. And they are asking for it throughout. So she got married to Lord Ranganatha, who came from Srirangam to Shivaliputtur. And the Lord here is called as Rangamannar. Then, as we see that, Āndāl Nachiyar composed this Tiruppāvai. In addition to that, she composed the Nachiyar Tirumozhi also, which is very, very important. Her father also composed so many things in the Divya Prabandham. And this Margashirsha month is always glorious, as we see in the Bhagavad Gita also. So this is very auspicious. Even the Devatas make use of this wonderful Brahma Muhurta, because the time difference what we have, for us it's 1 month, but for them it's Muhurta, that is Brahma Muhurta. So this is a very auspicious thing. Āndāl Nachiyar has done so much to the Vaishnavism. And before getting into the Pāsuram of today, let us glorify Āndāl Nachiyar with the Taniyams and then the Pāsuram. So for Taniyam, I will start reciting it. Nila Tungaste Nagari Tadi Suddha Mudbhotya Krishnam Parardhyam Swam Shruti Sata Shira Siddha Madhyapayanti Sochistayam Srajini Ghalitam Yaha Bhalakritya Bhunte Godatasya Nama Idam Idam Bhuya Evastu Bhuyaha Annavayal Puduvai Āndāl Arangarku Pannu Tiruppāvai Palpatiyam Innisayal Padik Koduttāl நற்பாமாலை பூமாலை சூடிக் கொடுத்தாளை சொல்லு சூடிக் கொடுத்த சுடற்கொடியே தொல்பாவை பாடியருளவல்ல பல்வளையாய் நாடி நீர் வெங்கடவர்க்கு என்னை விதியந்த இம்மாற்றம் நாங்கடவா வண்ணமே நல்கு. So now we will get into the Pāsuram. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Are you ready? Visakha,
Yes,
Suresh.
Yes,
So Visakha Suresh, she will be singing from Atlanta. Start.
Yes. ஒருத்தி மகனாய் பிறந்து ஓரிரவில் ஒருத்தி மகனாய் ஒளிர்த்து வளர ஒருத்தி மகனாய் பிறந்து ஓரிரவில் ஒருத்தி மகனாய் ஒளிர்த்து வளர தருக்கிலானாகி தான் தீங்கு நினைந்து தருக்கிலானாகி தான் தீங்கு நினைந்து கருத்தை பிழைப்பித்து கஞ்சன் வயிற்றில் நெருப்பென நின்ற நெடுமாலே நெருப்பென நின்ற நெடுமாலே கஞ்சன் வயிற்றில் நெருப்பென நின்ற நெடுமாலே உன்னை அறுத்தித்து வந்தோம் பறை தருதியாகில் நெருப்பென நின்ற நெடுமாலே உன்னை அறுத்தித்து வந்தோம் பறை தருதியாகில் திருத்தக்க செல்வமும் சேவகமும் யாம் பாடி திருத்தக்க செல்வமும் சேவகமும் யாம் பாடி வருத்தமும் தீர்ந்து மகிழ்ந்தேலோரெம்பாவாய் வருத்தமும் தீர்ந்து மகிழ்ந்தேலோரெம்பாவாய்.
Hare Krishna. Wonderful, Vishakha. Hare Krishna. Vishakha Śrīram.
Hare Krishna. I'll open the rooms, Prabhu.
Yes, Vasant room.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu, we can continue here.
Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna. So today's Pāsuram, first we will read it, then I will get into the Pada Padartha, that is word by word meaning, then we'll get into the translation. ஒருத்தி மகனாய் பிறந்து ஓர் இரவில் ஒருத்தி மகனாய் ஒளித்து வளர தருக்கிலான் ஆகித்தான் தீங்கு நினைத்த. Actually, it should be read like this. தருக்கிலான் ஆகி தான் தீங்கு நினைத்த. That should be the way. It has to be. தான் தீங்கு நினைந்த கருத்தை பிழைப்பித்து கஞ்சன் வயிற்றில் நெருப்பென்ன நின்ற நெடுமாலே உன்னை அறுத்தித்து வந்தோம் பறைதரு யாகில் திருத்தக்க செல்வமும் சேவகமும் யாம்பாடி வருத்தமும் தீர்ந்து மகிழ்ந்தேலோர் எம்பாவாய். மகிழ்ந்து ஏலோர் எம்பாவாய். Okay, let's get into the word by word meaning. Oruthi, one woman or a lady, but how that lady is very glorious lady. How glorious she is? Because the unborn, the Lord, is born in her stomach. Maganai, the son, pirandu, born, or iravil, in one night itself. Oruthi, again another glorious woman, who had the golden opportunity or most fortunate to have him as his foster son. Maganai, here it is foster son. Olithu valara, just away from the sight of someone who is envious of him. Olithu means hiding. Valara means growing. Tarikilan means he could not tolerate it. He was highly impatient. Agi, because of that, Tan himself, Ting, danger, Ninainda, thought it over. Karutai, that mere thought. Padaipithu, Padai means mistake, Padaipithu means he made it false or he dashed the thoughts or hopes. Kanjan here it is in Tamil. Otherwise he is, who is that? Uncle Kansa. Vaitil, in the stomach. Neruppu enna, like a fire. Nindra, stood. Nedumale, one who grew so tall, as we heard it yesterday's Pāsuram also, of the Vamana. Nedu Male. Nedu means long, Male means the most wonderful Lord. Unnai, unto you, Arutithu. In Sanskrit we say Archanai, here it is Arutithu, means we worship or we glorify you. Vandom, reached here. Parai, that percussion instrument or the ultimate goal of human life. Tariti Agil, if at all it is granted to us. Tiruttaka, Tiru means the most adornable wealth. Then Selvamum, that is again wealth. Tiruttaka Selvam, it's one word, Tiruttaka Selvamum. Sevagam means seva or the service attitude. Yam, we all. Padi, it's our singing. Varuttamam, the worry or the worries in plural, you can also say it. Tirndu, got removed. Mahilndu, joyfully. Elor Embhavai. Okay. So let us get into the translation. Then we'll go into the analysis of the Pāsuram. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Can we? Okay. O Krishna, in fulfillment of the wish of peerless Devaki Devi, that he should become the mother of Bhagavan, you took birth as her son, holding the conch, disc, and the mace and the lotus in your hands, 4 hands. On the very night after birth, you became the son of Yashoda, that lady of unequaled glory, who enjoyed to the full extent all your miraculous sports as a child, and who had the privilege of binding and chastising and controlling you, while you thus grew clandestinely in Vrepalli. Vrepalli means Braja or Gokula. You foiled every evil attempt designed by envious wicked Kansa. And becoming a thorn in his side, you killed the man who wished to kill you. You are extremely fond of those who seek your protection. Knowing this, we have come here desiring you alone. If you are so pleased, give us the parai. Fatigue, ills, place to bliss when we sing of your magnificent affluence, which Lakshmi herself might covet, and of your many heroic exploits. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langedigam yatkripatam hamandi Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. So this Urutti, the word single lady, but the single lady is so glorious. How glorious is? As I told you, the Lord is unborn, because if you look at the Bhagavad Gita, many places Krishna says, I am Aja, 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 right? Ajamanajimcha. That means he is unborn. But how come he is born to a couple? That is Devaki and Vasudeva. Because he committed to them, because based on their wonderful austerities and penance, the Lord was very much pleased, and he committed to be their son, not once, thrice, because we know the story, right? First, between Sutapa and Prishni as the son called Prishnigarbha, and Kashyapa and Aditi and Upendra as the son, and Vasudeva and Devaki as Vasudeva. So the mother is so glorious, she was given the opportunity to carry the Lord in her womb. That means how much penance and how much of austerity she has done to please the Lord. This is a very rare achievement. Maganai being their son. Can you imagine in Bhagavad Gita at every step he says Pitahamasya Jagato Mata Data, right? He is the father of everything, but here he comes as the son of someone else. Pirandu. Pirandu means we have to understand it is born, though it is written born, one has to understand he is unborn. Because as we see that, it's very interesting. According to the scriptures, it's very clearly said, every jiva has got no choice of choosing their father or mother or a family. Based on their karma, they are pushed into that. Similarly, a father and mother cannot choose, oh, so-and-so jiva need to come to in my womb. So that means there is no choice for us as a jiva, but whereas the Lord, who is unborn, he has got his own choice. So as I told you also 3 times, he took that choice, right? He became the son of Vasudeva and Devaki. Okay, when did he born? He born in the midnight, right? While he was born, only 4 were awake, but the entire world was sleeping. Who are all awake? Vasudeva, of course, Devaki, then Krishna and Yogamaya. Because Yogamaya has to be shifted from Yashoda's house to Devaki's prison. So only 4 were awake. The very same night, the Lord shifted his residence. One can understand a newborn baby is not able to stay at one place. So when he is on the move, further how much he moves, that's very interesting. This shows the Lord is unattached. The Lord is always renunciant, though he owns everything. So this is a very wonderful phenomenon, how the Lord is able to do that. As just now I told you, unborn, but he is appearing as their son, right? In this connection, only the philosophical things come so much to our mind. Especially in Bhagavad Gita, what does the Lord say? Janma, karma, chame, divyam, evam yo veti tatvataha, tyaktva deham, punarjanma, naiti mameti so Arjuna. So as I was describing this, if a jiva is able to understand the Lord, appearance and activities are always transcendental. Janma, karma, chame, divyam. It says divyam means transcendental. It is not something material what we look at it. Again, what the Lord gives a assurance. One who understands this, automatically what happens to them? Tyaktva deham punarjanma. So there is no need for them to come back to this material world again. Then what does he say? Punarjanma naiti mameti so Arjuna. So he comes back to my abode. So this is the one assurance wherein the Lord says one can get back to the abode of the Lord. There is another way where the Lord gives another instruction wherein one can get out of the cycle of birth and death. So according to the Acharyas, there are two places wherein Krishna is very clearly giving a statement or a promise. One is this one, Janma Karma Chame Divyam. This is in the 4th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Then in the entire 15th chapter, he talks about his supremacy, Purusha Uttama. So one understands this Purushottama, they also do not take a birth. If you look at the Bhakti Yoga comprises of karma, jnana, everything. But they did not do it separately. But they achieved the Bhakti Yoga very smoothly. So when we talk about it, how to get rid of this cycle of birth and death, right? So this is also explained in this when we look at it. Because the Lord gave option, right? One can quit the body and need not come back again. How? It says, there are two things we have to understand. When I told you, we have no choice to choose our parents. And the parents also do not have a choice to choose a son. It's purely forced on our karma. So when we talk about the karma, sanchit karma and the prarabdha karma. So when we talk about the sanchit karma is the one what we are presently doing it. So this karma can be stopped instantly. How? As I told you, one who accept this janma karma chame divyam. If they understood it and accept this, and similarly if they accept the 15th chapter, Purushottama, he is the only Purushottama, then automatically this sanchit karma can be eradicated. Then the next one is called prarabdha karma. This prarabdha karma, as I told you, we are carrying our past karmas. We have come to the human form to only get rid of all these karmas, right? If somebody is really serious about wiping off this prarabdha karma, one has to take up the bhakti yoga very seriously. That is also possible. So that's why when you look at it, sarva dharman paridhyajya. So if somebody is able to do the sharanagati, automatically the Lord takes the responsibility. What does this say? Ma suchaha aham tvam sarva papebhyo. So when the option is left to the Lord, and when we surrender thoroughly, the Lord takes care of both the sanchit karma as well as the prarabdha karma. Because prarabdha karma, what happens? One cannot wipe it immediately. It may be for a year or 1 month or sometimes for 1 birth or 2-3 births. But when we do the surrender, it takes completely nullified both the prarabdha karma and the sanchit karma. So that's why he says sarva dharman paridhyajya. If somebody is able to do that, one can cleanly wipe it off. There are lots of Bhagavatam charitras which explains this. Okay. So let's move on to the next portion of the line. Oruthi Mahanai Olithu Valara. So this Oruthi is who? None other than Yashoda. Mahanai, again, she is very fortunate to have all the childhood pastimes. So His Holiness Bhanuswami Maharaj explains there are 4 different leelas which are primary when the Lord appeared in this material world. One is called Bala Leela, then it is called as Pauganda Leela, then it is called as Yavana Leela, and finally it's called Dwaraka Leela. So if all one can look at it, the primary leelas up to the age of 10 or 11 of the Lord, is always enjoyed by Yashoda and Nanda Baba, whereas Vasudeva and Devaki could not. Because at the age of 11 only, Krishna goes with Akrura to Mathura and finish off his maternal uncle Kansa, and he releases both the parents. So here, Yashoda is so fortunate and she is able to have a wonderful pastimes with the Lord. Even the Devatas were wondering over it. Even as I told you in the Dāmodar Leela, what does he say? Even Brahma, Shiva, and including Lakshmi ji could not get the mercy as Yashoda got it. Nemam Virincho, right? That sloka. So here, Yashoda is so fortunate, and how he does it? Olittu valara. Olittu means he is little bit away or afraid of or hiding. Valara, growing. See, one can understand this very simple thing. Why he is doing it? Olittu valara. Why he is hiding? Because Kansa is afraid, and the Lord does not want him to get afraid of more and more, but in any case, he wants to finish him off. But here, the Lord comes directly, and Kansa is afraid of. But at the same time, the Lord is also hiding because he doesn't want to disturb Kansa, because he wanted to correct him, but he is not getting corrected. So he has to do something. Similarly, there is a wonderful comparison with us also. In us also, the Lord is residing, right? What? As Paramatma. But how much we know? That's why there also the Lord hides himself, does not come into the forefront. So he allows us to do things on our own. But unfortunately, what we do, we think we are independent. Swatantra. Because the primary reason is, this is the reason we are struggling in this material world. Paratantra, we don't accept. Because we don't have this Swatantra. We are only a subservient of the Lord at all times. So, as Kansa was doing the same thing, we are also doing the same thing. Because of that, the Paramatma inside is also hiding himself. Right? So, one way, if you look at it, we are also Kansa, because we are not able to identify the Lord within ourselves and glorify him. Similarly, Kansa also could not see the Lord is there and to worship him, who is always independent. And Kansa thinks he is independent. This is the problem. For us also same problem, right? We want to master it. That's why we have come here. So one can understand we have to remove all our Kansa qualities. One has to surrender to the Lord. That should be the mood. Then automatically one can understand the Lord residing within ourselves as Paramatma. Okay. So moving on to the next line, Tarikkilan. Tarikkilan means the thoughts or the plans. What does he do? He has got always a negative approach. And all the time, he could not tolerate it. Why? Because the moment the voice from the sky said, your sister's eighth son will kill you. From that moment, he is always afraid, and all that time, he was completely not able to accept this statement, because he was thinking, I am supreme, I am independent, but there is someone else who is to come and going to kill him. So the demonic quality in him made him to all do those things. Even we too have demonic qualities. So once that is removed, one can accept Krishna. So Tarikkilan, that means he is always completely intolerant, because there is someone else superior to me. Tarikkil on Agitan, because of that. And what does he do? Tan thing ninaita. Here, Āndāl Nachiyar uses some wonderful phrase, because she doesn't want to use the word. Kansa wanted to kill Krishna like that. What does she say? He is thinking bad things to Krishna. He is trying to attack Krishna. Like that she uses. She never uses the word kill. That's why Tingu. So his intention is very bad. So what happened automatically when he was trying to think bad things, or he wanted to attack Krishna, or he wanted to overcome Krishna, what he was facing? He himself was facing the wrath of it. Bad thoughts will bring bad effects. Bad karma will bring bad results. So here also, just because he was thinking bad and he was envious of the Lord, what happened? That envy itself brought his life down. Tan tingu ninaita. Unfortunately, he wanted to do bad to others or Krishna. He got bad things. Similarly, even in our day-to-day life, we'll all elders say, no, never think bad for others. Good things we have to think for others. Otherwise, you have to pay for it, right? Like that. So, karuttai pidaipittu, this very mere thought of him was completely made wrong, because he thought he will be able to attack Krishna and overcome this. But the Lord made it every attempt a failure. He started sending from Putana to so on, right? Chakatasura, Trinavarta, and so on, so many. But all the attempts were foiled by Krishna. Pidaipitti. Kanjan, Kansa, Vaichil in his stomach. Nerupendra Nendra Nidumale. Nerupen, fire, right? So one should understand when we talk about fire in the stomach, the Lord is there in everyone's stomach as fire. So that's what we are reading in the Bhagavad Gita, 15th chapter. What does he say? Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva Praninam Dehamashritaha Pana Samayuktaha Pachamyannam Chaturvidam. So the four types of foods, whatever we eat, it is digested by the Jatagni. What is that? Vaishwanara Agni. So though that Agni is there, it is meant for digestion. Those who are devotees, it does not burn. Those who are envious, those who are atheists, those who are speculators, for them it is a fire. Another wonderful explanation what we can give here is, when you think bad for others, your stomach is burning. Because of that, you are inviting fire inside your stomach, which kills yourself. Similarly, here there is another definition which is mentioned here. As Kansavas keep on sending different demons to attack Krishna, the entire cowherd community were always under fear, and their stomach was full of Agni. They were worried all the time, anxious. And when we are anxiety, what happens? Automatically, you get into acidity, what they say, right? Because of that, there so much of fire all the time. They are holding it. Oh, what will happen to Krishna? Which demon will come next? How Krishna will protect? All these things they were keep on thinking. All the entire cowherd community were doing it. So the Lord felt it. Why my devotee should suffer? Why my devotee should worry? Why my devotee should completely be having so much of anxiety? He thought, I have to remove this. And who is eligible to take all this anxiety and fire? Who is envious of me? So what happened? All the fire in each and every devotees of the Brajavasis were completely collected, gathered, and a big ball of fire was created. And the entire fire was transferred into the stomach of Kansa. So then what happens? He is boiling like anything. He is having high BP, everything, because he is always worried. He is always in fear. So that's why it is explained here. Nerupendra nendra nedumale. Nerupenna nendra nedumale. This nedumale is also having a wonderful explanation. In Tamil, we call Vishnu as Thirumal. Thiru means Srimati Mahalakshmi. Mal means one who is always by her side. So he is called Thirumal. Sometimes we call him as Perumal also because he is so huge. And he is the superior to all. That's why he is called as Perumal. Here it is Nedumal. Nedu means who is growing tall. So the Lord appeared as Trivikrama and he grew in stature to measure the three worlds. So here that Nedu Male is defined like that. Then moving on to the next word, Unnai, you, Arutittu Vandom. Arutittu means we are worshipping, we are doing Archana. Paraitariyagil. What is that Paraitariyagil? If you give that ultimate goal, you are abode, going back to Godhead, or the instrument which is required for performing the Pāvai Nonbu. Tiruttakka Selvam. What is the Tiruttakka Selvam? Here it is a wonderful explanation given here. Selvam means wealth, right? Generally, we talk about it. Selvam means Srimati Mahalakshmi. Tiruttakka, the one which always remain eternally with us. That's called Tiruttakka Selvam. Here, Āndāl Nachiyar, what does she say? We have come here to you. For what? We have got a request. What is the request? We want you yourself. We don't want anything else. That's why it says Paraitariyagil. Paraitariyagil means to go back to his eternal abode, to be with him all the time. So Āndāl Nachiyar and the 5 lakh Kumarikas are very wise. They are asking the Lord, and what they are asking? The Lord himself. And to whom they are asking? To the Lord himself. This is very interesting, right? So that means they want the Lord as their husband and they are asking him to be eternally with him. Why they want to be with him eternally? The next line comes, Sevagamum Yampadi. Sevagam means Sevai or servitorship. So one can understand certain philosophical things which Āndāl Nachiyar has put it precisely. Because even in our Sampradaya, Prabhupada very clearly says, eternal servants. Here also what is it? Sevagamum. Yampadi. How we are going to get it? By singing your glories, by chanting your holy name, by doing Harinama Kirtan. So again, as I told you, Padi has come here because the emphasis is given to the holy name. There is no difference between the Lord and the holy name, right? So this is what it's explained here. Then what does they say? Varuttamam. This Varuttamam is also a very important aspect. Tird means gone. Mahildu, joyful. See, one has to understand the purpose of human life is to remove all the miseries. When miseries are removed, that is the end of it. No, there is something else beyond that. What is that? Mahildu, joyful. So this Varuttam is compared to, according to the Vaishnava Acharyas, this is the attachment what we have to the material world. How the miseries comes? Because we have got attachment to the material world. Just because we have got so much of attachment towards the material things, we are stuck. So what here Āndāl Nachiyar is telling, Varuttamam Tirth means let all our misery go. That means let all our attachment towards material things go. This is called Ishtam. Then Mahind, joyfully. What is the next one? Once our attachment towards material things are removed, automatically our attachment towards the Lord is increasing. As we do the bhakti, sadhana bhakti, what happens? Initially, all our anomalies or the contaminations are slowly eradicated. Parallelly, what happens? the purification goes up, the quality goes up, and we are performing the devotional service in a better standards, and the standards keep improving. That's what Prabhupada says. First 16 rounds will be not focus, then slowly it increases. This way, as we increases our quality of the devotional service, as we completely detach from the material attachment, and as we develop the attachment towards the Lord, what is the status now? We are out of these three modes, which means one is in a blissful condition. That is called Mahilndu. So, Āndāl Nachar has packed, that's what I said. This verse is something very unique, because I am really reducing the explanation. The analysis is so wonderful, which can go on for hours together. So, when we talk about this, what is the purpose of it? See, human form is meant to get rid of all our sinful conditions. Because we have accumulated karma, because of that we are attached to the material things. To get rid of the attachment towards the material things, it's not an easy job. One has to take up the Bhakti Yoga. As we get into the Bhakti Yoga, automatically Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga falls in place on its own without any extra endeavor. That's why Karma Marga and Jnana Marga, we don't do it separately. It becomes Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga. So automatically one is promoted to the Bhakti Yoga. So what is that a Jiva always wants? Look at it. Any living entity, they look for always joyful, blissful. That's why in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, what does he say in the 9th chapter? Raja Vidya Raja Guhyam. Guhyam means most confidential, secret. Pavitram, the most pure. Idam Uttamam, the topmost. Uttamam. Pratyaksha Vagamam. Pratyaksha means right in front of us, you can see that. Pratyaksha Vagamam Dharmyam Susukam. What is the word? Susukam. Joyfully perform. So Āndāl Nachar has put it very precisely. All these days, we did so many things in our Pāvai Noble. But for all this austerities, what is the idea behind it? Our attachment towards these material things are slowly eradicated. And our attachment towards the Lord is increasing. So that's why she is able to understand the primary purpose of human form. The moment we get the human form, Tyaktva Swadharmam Charanambujam Harehe. What does it say? Bhajan Apakva. Even if it is not in perfect stage, one can get into that. But even the imperfect stage, one can get the benefits. That's why here, the very first word she says, the appearance of the Lord, one has to understand it is the divine. And the next one is, what does it say? Immediately, it talks about his activities are also divine. So that takes us to the next level of what is called as accepting Krishna as the Purushottama. So it is a chain. As we link from the shloka from the beginning to the end, one can understand our detachment towards the material things will go, automatically all our miseries, worries will go. The moment the worries and miseries are going, what is the next stage? The jiva gets into the place of the Shuddha Sattva or in the blissful condition. And automatically the devotional service, Sevagamam. What is a Sevagam? It is the eternal servitorship, which is the bhakti. How we are going to do it? Joyfully performed. So a neophyte devotee may do it as sadhana bhakti, but there may be here and there a pakva, but pakva will come as after some time. This is what Tyaktva Swadharmam Charanambujam Harehe. So Mahindelo Rambhavai, what Āndāl Nachar makes it very clear is, one will come to the stage of blissful condition. Okay, so before I forget the Bhagavatam sloka for today, I will get into that quickly. This is in the 10th canto, 3rd chapter, 13th shloka. See, in this chapter, We have seen that wonderful sloka as the Lord appeared in four-armed form in the Karagraha, right? That we had seen it before when we were talking about the beauty, right? Tam adbhutam balakam ambujakshanam, right? So all these things are always transcendental, his activities and appearances. So here, what Vasudeva is telling, let us listen to that. Shri Vasudeva Uvacha. So Vasudeva is speaking here now. Viditosi Bhavan Sakshat Purushaha Prakritehe Paraha Kevalanu Bhavanandha Swarupaha Sarva Buddhi Drik. Swarupaha. What is the Swarupaha? A Jiva, what is the original Swarupa of the Jiva? That's what we just now saw that. What is that? Vartamam Tirndu Mahildelor. That means Sevagamum Yampadi. That means serving the Lord. Right? So one should understand we are not Swatantras, we are Paratantras, and there is only one Swatantra, the Supreme Lord. One has to fall at his feet, accept his supremacy, and automatically the Paratantra is well protected. So here what he says now, let us try to read that. Viditosi Bhagavan, sorry, Shri Vasudeva Uvacha. Read it carefully. Many of us do the mistake. Vasudeva and Vasudeva, we always miss out. So here it is Vasudeva, Father speaks. Okay. Shri Vasudeva Uvacha, he is praying to the Lord to appear. Viditosi Bhavan Sakshat Purushaha Prakritehe Paraha Kevalanu Bhavanandha Swarupa Sarva Buddhi Drig. So what's the translation? Vasudeva said, my Lord, you are the Supreme Person. Very first word. What is Supreme Person? We saw that in the Pāsuram. Orutti Mahanai Pirandu. Who is that Orutti Mahanai Pirandu? Purushottama. Beyond material existence. When we say that Purushottama, he is above all these material things. And you are the super soul. As I told you, he is always within us. Only thing, we are away from him and he is hiding himself because of that. That's why I said we are also some way, kamsa, one way. Okay. So here he is glorifying the Lord. It's a prayer to the Lord. What does he say? My Lord, you are the Supreme Person beyond material existence. Material existence, he is above the three gunas. And you are the super soul. He is within us, each and everyone's heart, as the Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu. Your form can be perceived by transcendental knowledge. It's very clear. Not any amount of studies, doctorate, any degree of universities will not help. Only the transcendental knowledge, the spiritual knowledge, with that only one can perceive the Lord's wonderful form, by which you can be understood, one can understand as the Supreme Personality of God. This is the essence. Again and again it comes, no? Janma Karma Chame Divyam and the Purushottama. These are the things one has to understand it and accept it. Automatically, they are getting the liberation from the cycle of birth and death. That's why Tyaktva Deham Punarjanma. Here also, what does he say? By which you can be understood as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I now understand your position perfectly. So one should understand the position of the Supreme Lord. One, if understand it, automatically one is eligible to get out of the cycle of birth and death. So this is what Āndāl Nachiyar is emphasizing here. This is a wonderful prayer from Vasudeva to the Lord. It's a long one. Huh? Let us try to read the next word. Next verse also. Again, Vasudeva is telling, my Lord, you are the same person who in the beginning created this material world by his personal external energy. But that is a Bhagiranga Shakti. After the creation of this world of three gunas, right? Material world means three gunas. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. You appear to have entered it. He has appeared to have. Appear means he has not really entered. It looks like he has entered it because he enters at the same time he is away from that. That's why in the Bhagavad Gita also says, I am in them, they are not in me. That means the Lord is not affected by that. Although, in fact, you have not. What is that? There is a wonderful verse in the Chatushloki Bhagavatam. Ahameva sameva agre nanyati yati satasat param pasyataham yate tasya yovasishyeta sosmyaham ruteyartam yat pratiyeta na pratiyeta atmani tadvidyat atmano mayam yato baso yato tamaha yata mahanti bhutani bhuteshu uchavaseshanu. There it says pravishtani apravishtani. He enters as if he enters, but actually he is not entering. So this is the verse, very important. Pravishtani apravishtani tatateshu nateshu aham. So I tell you, amazing connections of the Bhagavatam to the Tiruppāvai. Every speaker of this platform, they are enjoying so much and they are relishing the Pāsuram so much. I request all the speakers once again, focus on the Pāsuram more and more, and you will get more and more nectar of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. This is what I can tell you. As we churn the Tiruppāvai repeatedly, though it is a different language, but fortunately you are getting in all the languages translated so well, you can churn out so many wonderful nectarian things of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. This is what I request all the devotees. Granthra Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Vasant Prabhu, is that over?
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, I close the session, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
So can I request Krishna Priya to
Krishna
take
Priya
over?
Mataji, please take over. Hare Krishna, Krishna Priya Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. So before that, we will just pray one time for all. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you, Krishna Priya. Please take over.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you.
हरे कृष्णा। अंतर्राष्ट्रीय कृष्ण भावनामृत संघ द्वारा आयोजित नित्यम भागवत सेवया कार्यक्रम में आप सभी भक्तों का हार्दिक स्वागत।